are on.
We're on.
You're on.
And we have another live. I got to get us on live on the thing here. Let's see. On 23. Look at this live. Let's see. Oh, today's 25. That's not right. I got to go on to Facebook, right? So I can see. Home. What's on your mind? That's not what I want to do. And we're not live, I don't think.
Yeah, we
oh,
are.
no, we are live. No. Oh, it's, you know why? It's because the shirt I'm wearing is a similar color to Tuesday's shirt. And I keep looking. I'm like, no, that's the other day's shirt. That's funny. Listen.
We're live. You always doubt that it's live, but it always is.
No, I do, don't I? And there we are. Here we are live. I think.
How about
yeah,
that?
we're live. All right. Wait, what do you
have?
No, it's not the right one. Damn it. I got the wrong one on. Where it says play mix. It says Restream. How do I get to the live on us?
This is why we come on early.
I'm subscribed. Let me try and play a mix. What is play a mix now?
I don't know.
No, because that's not you. You're wearing black, not blue.
Correct.
Let's see what's happening here. It doesn't say. It's not. I can't get it on YouTube yet.
Well, it's on YouTube because I have someone in chat. Let me open the chat.
I see. Who's in chat? Let me turn it on.
Mike.
Hey, and Kathy.
And
Hello,
Kathy.
And Owen. The
Owen.
regular crowd of cast of characters are here.
You see what Owen said? He says, give him 10 minutes. He might get it right.
Who said it? About me?
Yeah.
Just give me just a little more time.
I did my part. It got onto YouTube. It got onto Facebook. I can't help it if you can't find it. That's not me. That's not my problem.
I don't. Oh, wait. No.
Search. Go to your page, Chris, where it streams. Just open your page and look.
I'm on it. I'm on our page. Unfiltered.
No, you don't want to be on our page.
What do I want to be on?
You want to be on your page where you stream. You don't stream on our.
I'm on my YouTube.
Yeah, that's.
I went to
no,
home.
not your YouTube. Hold on.
No, I got it on my Facebook.
Okay.
I need to see it on the YouTube on the big screen so our studio audience can see it.
Okay, so it's streaming on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I can't help you with getting it up on. Ooh. Poor choice of words.
Listen, I don't know, Mike. We got to talk.
Poor choice of words. I can't help with getting it showing on.
Listen, are you a shower or a grower?
Mike's both.
Right, listen, I got a problem. I'm going to exit out of YouTube. I'm going to go back into the YouTube. All right, it's really hot in my studio here, and I don't know why, because it's humid as hell here in New Jersey. So, let's see. Search. So if I go to
Kathy
search,
said she had
talk. All right.
Did you go on the live tab?
Where is the live tab?
It's across the top. It says videos, live, posts. There's 3 tabs.
Videos.
Right above the videos. Right above the videos, it says.
It's all about refreshment. If I didn't refresh, now I see. That look.
Okay.
Mike,
so
listen.
Owen.
All I can tell you,
huh?
Christine always blows up your phone. Well, she's blowing up your phone. She's blowing up your phone and helping me getting it up. We're 2 lucky guys.
I was just gonna say my Owen is following me everywhere.
This is a show that nobody really,
Owen follows me everywhere. So when I post,
really
he gets them all.
Well, so I'm drinking a margarita. It's a special margarita. It's a. I don't use pre-mixed stuff. Although the show is sponsored by Beach Buddha Coffee, as we all know, but we have a studio audience today live at the Beach Buddha Lounge here, and they brought beautiful cocktails, and they brought their camper, so they're hanging out in the camper and coming in and enjoying the show. So cheers to Teresa and Cairo hanging out with us and watching the show and bringing me.
Kathy wants to know how many martinis you've had.
Not enough. Not enough yet, Kathy. Not enough.
I'm with you, Kathy. I'm thinking there's a few in the tank.
No, I was busy all day.
Whatever. You know what he was doing when I talked to him?
Go ahead.
What were you doing, Chris?
I was taking a little nap.
Same thing Mike was doing.
It was gloomy. I am sweating like Cairo. What is going on in here?
You are. We can see it.
I'm glistening. Look.
Where's your fluffer girl?
My fluffer girl. Yeah, like a tweaker like J-Lo's got.
No.
I need a fluffer girl. I need a massage.
Do you, Chris? Do you
No,
know?
I don't.
Do you know what a fluffer is?
I don't need a fluffer girl. We'll talk about that later.
That's for the spicy channel, which I'm going to tell everybody about when we start the show.
This is getting there. We're getting there. Kathy, I want to thank you guys. This is great to see everybody on here and, busting our chops. Mike. Oh.
Hi,
Big
Mike.
O.
Mike, are you working?
I want to see who's on the Facebook. See if anybody's on here.
Who's in the Facebook, guys?
Who's in the Facebook? Oh, Anthony D. He's a regular now. Listen, Anthony D. Philippus, I'm very excited. He's not only is he a client and a friend, not in that order, but he's New Year's Eve going down to Florida with the RV, and we're going to do a show for Anthony at his community, and we're going to tear it up. We're going to show these people what New York and New Jersey is all about. We're going to show them at a
Chris, are you going to the Villages?
I'm going. No, I don't know, Anthony. It's not the Villages. Anthony, go on to YouTube.
Go on the YouTube. Go on the YouTube, Anthony.
Am I that old? On the YouTube.
Apparently, go on the YouTube, Anthony.
Anthony, go on the YouTube.
You did it again. You just can't stop. Hey, Anthony, it's just YouTube. It's just YouTube. Just go to YouTube.
Go to www./
Yeah, do that. Do that.
Cheers.
Cheers. I have water.
Christine, you're making me look bad. Can you please have a cocktail with me one afternoon on this thing? I know. I drink water every time. Maybe I could do some wine sometime. Something. I mean, listen, you're making me look bad. You're making me look like I'm a raging alcoholic. I always drink the coffee. It just happens to be when we got live studio audience. They bring us drinks. They did, and then we hang out. And what can I say? So I think we're gonna have a special guest tonight, also watching. We'll see. By the name of, starts with an R. Starts with an R and ends with an E. And guess what? She's hanging out with me. Oh, to be young and in love. No. Oh, look who's talking. You're the most smitten town. What? Me? What? Yeah, you. I'm going to try and do something here. Let's see something. I'm going to try and do something here. I'm going to try and, while we're playing around, I got a minute. I want to just find something. I want to see if this is going to work. I don't know. Is it a surprise? No, I'm trying to. It could be if it works. Oh, Chris, you're not messing with the screen again, are you? No. All of a sudden, I'm going to have rain or snowflakes. Or that's because you're a breath of snowflake air. Oh, okay. No, I'm trying to. I'm actually just trying to. I am trying to find music. Must be the music. But it's not working. I can't. I'm trying to pull the music from, playlists and stuff to see if I could. But I don't have the drive attached, so it's not going to work. I want to play with this and see, because we can have a lot of fun. Okay, but Chris, you have to bear this in mind. Our YouTube channel, the video will get blocked
or the sound will go away if you play a song on there that is copywritten and it's like impossible to find out that it's
Yes, but
any of the popular
you're
songs.
allowed 30 up to less than 30 seconds of it.
That's what I was just going to say. I think Mike was telling me you're allowed X amount of seconds. I don't know. He didn't know
You
how
are,
much
because
it
they're
was.
not going to deny the playtime to get any kind of recognition to the song, but you can't utilize the whole song. You only use up that 20, 30-second mark. If you ever notice commercials on real time, big time commercials, if they're doing something, you're hearing a song, but it's almost in repeat mode. It's almost, or they stop it and then go back to it, whatever.
Well, you better be quick draw, because if our video doesn't upload or there's a problem, I'm coming for you.
Right.
Mike wants to know if you're Twitter pated.
I'm clear-headed? Mike
Twitter-pated.
Mike wants to know if I'm clear-headed.
No.
Let me look at this. Let me open this up so I can read it. Oh, he didn't. Did he say that? No.
He said you said that I'm smitten, and he said she's Twitter pated. Are you Twitter pated? Do you know what that is? He doesn't know what that is.
Got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Who?
Twitter pated.
Is that like a new website for porn? Twitter baited?
Not baited.
What are you talking about? I never heard Twitter baited.
Have you never watched Bambi?
Bambi?
Yeah.
Bambi and Twitter baited to me just don't match up.
Not baited. Can you not see what Mike's? Okay, hold on. I'm going to put it up.
No, I can't. So
There
make a mix, Chris. I'll play it in the back. That's what I'm going to do, Mike. Twitter pated. That's even worse. Twitter pated.
What do you mean it's worse?
I don't know. Baited. What's the difference?
I'm starting to reconsider. Why the heck did I put this man's name on the title of this podcast? The minute I put him up there, all of a sudden he gets dumb.
I never heard of listen, you and I are going to talk later. I never heard of the term Twitter pated.
Thumper says it. Or Mike, who says it? It's about Thumper.
It came from Bambi?
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch Bambi tonight to see the word Twitter pated.
Just go to YouTube and put in.
I'm going to Google the scene.
Yeah, just be careful what you Google, old man.
Well, I'm going to Google it right now.
Okay.
I'm going to Google Twitter baited. Let's see.
Now, if you Google Twitter baited, you're going to find some weird Twitter masturbation stuff.
TWITTERPATED.
There you go.
Twitter pated. To be infatuated, bestowed, or nervously excited, particularly in romantic or erroneous ways.
There you go. Are you Twitter pated?
It's possible.
Yeah, you're Twitter pated.
Quite possible.
Mike's Twitter pated.
Are you Twitter pated, young lady?
I am. I am. I won't deny it.
Mike, I saw a picture.
Yeah, we sent Chris a picture of Mike.
Oh, you were together when you sent it? Oh, I gotta be careful now.
Yeah.
Mike, listen, you can't hold me responsible. Oh, my mom just goes, "Good Lord, put the drink down. You're getting mixed up."
Yeah, Mom, you tell him.
It's a joke. Dean Martin never drank a day in his life. Well, that's not it's a joke. We fool around. I'm getting mixed up. Come on. But I mean, listen. Even if I say it, I'm going to say Twitter baited. Just the way I say it. Twitter. It's work to say Twitter pated.
It's a B and a P. Come on.
You come to New Jersey, stay here for 53 years, and you try and say a B and a P.
Mike lived there for a decade, and he knows how to differentiate between his P and his B.
A decade's not 53 years.
Well, that's true.
So apparently my mother's watching, so now we really got to be careful.
Mom's okay with me. It's just you. It's just you. You're the one that has to be careful.
Now, listen, Mom. Just so you know, you can absolutely comment, to the text here, and I'll watch your text. I'll put a third prompter up here, and it's fine.
Three
And I know
monitors.
you. Well, actually, Mom, you can actually comment on the YouTube if you like. Wow, Anthony DeFilippis. Anthony, I'm happy. I'm happy you found me too. We found each other. It's going to be great. Florida, it's going to be an amazing time. We're going to have so much fun. Vero Beach is going to be tearing it up with me. All right. Guess what, Christine? It's 7:01.
Welcome back to Unfiltered
Ah,
Real Talk.
were you Twitter
Don't step
dating?
on my
Were you
introduction,
Twitter
mister. Be
dating?
quiet. Welcome back to Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine and Chris Anthony. Hello. Welcome back.
I'm back on probation.
Well, you got off. You're going to be back in probation. I'm going to get one of those cones that they put on the street, those construction cones, and I'm going to make you wear it. So we've been sitting here behind the scenes watching Chris figure out what's going on for the last 15 minutes. If you missed it, guys, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday. We just hang out here for 15 minutes before we go live, and we watch Chris do all kinds of things. It's fun. You should join us next time.
Listen, let me ask you a question. Who designed the show?
Whatever.
Not me.
It's fun to watch you, differentiate between P and B. It's a lot of fun. Hey, P and B, peanut butter and jelly. I just got that.
That's right. We're P and B.
All right. I have something to tell everybody before we get started, before I tell you what the topic is. So, back by popular demand. Okay. So for those of you who have not followed my podcast for the last 3.5 years, it used to be the format was a little different when I was by myself, and it started off really, really spicy and very, very spicy, and double spice. And when I added Chris, he and I had talked, and I've talked about this. We've talked about this. I wanted to go a different way. I wanted to, make it inviting to a lot of, a broad expanse of people. So I hit all those spicy episodes. Now I've been getting texts and emails, messages from people asking me what happened to all that content. And I'm like, well, and I tell them what happened to all the content. Now, Mike, and I'm just going to throw that out there, Mike suggested this to me because he wants to be able to just listen to the spicy old stuff whenever he wants. So he's like, well, why don't you put it on a Patreon account? And I'm like, okay, I already have a Patreon. It's sort of defunct, not Patreon, but my account. And so it's already there. So what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking and merging over all that old content that is not available right now on the regular, Spotify and Apple and Sirius, all the places that you listen, if you listen to the podcast. And if you guys don't know, the video podcasts that are on this channel, there's a lot more. If you go to the podcast, the audio only podcast, there are a lot more. It's just me, but there are a lot more. So, but I'm going to take the ones that are hidden right now, and I'm going to merge only those, not the ones you can find that are public. Only the ones that are hidden. I'm putting those on Patreon, and I'm going to call this maybe Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine and Chris Anthony After Dark, maybe something like that. And basically, we're going to do right now. We haven't even picked time or anything, but we're thinking like one show a week where we just talk about whatever we want. We don't have to worry about, offending anybody. We're going to talk about the stuff that we all want to talk about, but we're afraid to talk about, and we won't talk about here. I mean, what is that? I don't know. I can't tell you. You'll have to join.
Never know what's coming out of this mouth.
Yeah, we have got a little taste of Chris Anthony lately, and he needs a After Dark place to go.
Listen, I've been to a couple of those in Italy. I almost got mugged.
You won't get mugged on ours, guys. So once, okay, the Patreon site is already up, and if you search Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine, and I don't think I've changed it to add Chris's name yet, but Unfiltered Real Talk with Christine, you will find the Patreon, And you can join now if you'd like, or you can wait. I'll let you guys know once everything starts getting merged over there. There's really not much over there right now. So once it's all done, I'll let you know. We'll let you know. We'll start promoting it and getting links and things so you can join if you want to. Just be aware, it's spicy. It's gonna be.
Listen, spice up your life. It is what it is.
I mean, we talk about relationships, guys.
Like I tell you a million times, like Jimmy Buffett says, relationships, we all got them. We all want them. What do we do with them? After dark, we'll tell you.
That's right. It's just that stuff that we have to watch our P's and Q's here. We can just let it all out there.
And I got to make sure I got to make sure my P, meaning my pate, my mama, isn't watching that one. No.
Yeah, mom can't have an account. No. Sorry, Mom. No.
and I want to say hello to Teresa Della Russo for watching. I put her comment up. She thinks we're great. Billy Boy is in the house.
Teresa.
Billy is watching us, and Donna and Dawn, the Tishes, and everybody's in the house. And so many people are now coming over to YouTube so they can comment, which is fantastic.
Yeah. And I did want to say that once we have the Patreon up, we're going to figure out how to live stream. Like I said, hopefully we won't have to record and put it up. And if we can figure out how to do the live stream on Patreon, you guys can be as spicy as you want to. So we can all get spicy. All right. All right. Thank you, Teresa. I like it.
Yeah. I think it is too. I like it.
Yeah. So today
now I got to make a mix for that. We got to definitely. I don't listen. Unless you put a gun to my head, I'm not wavering. I got to make a good mix to that opening opening show.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I agree. All right, guys. Tonight's topic is, of course, regarding relationships. We're going to talk. This kind of has a little bit to do with last week's topic about when to start talking about intimacy, but we're not talking about intimacy. But we do want to know when. Yeah, no hot seat for Chris. Well, yeah, we'll see. But we do want to talk about what you need to talk about, what you need to get out of the way right away when you're dating somebody new. Most of us that watch this podcast and that are hosting this podcast are over 50. And if we're out there looking for relationships, we don't want to be messing around with people who have no intention of looking for what we're looking for. And we have to know how to figure out, like, obviously we have to know they're being honest. So that's kind of a risk that we just have to take. But we have to know how to ask them. We have to know how to ask the right questions to make sure that they are looking for the same thing as us. Like Chris said something earlier today when we were talking about, that he and his date made a joke about so what's your 5-year plan? What does your life look like in 5 years? And they were like laughing about that. And I said, see, that's just it. Some people actually ask that stuff, and that is not the right thing to be asking on a first date, and not to do with Chris, because they were kidding. But some people actually ask those kinds of questions, and it's like you can get there in a relationship, in a new relationship, where you are going to ask. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because you want to know. Maybe you're going to be retiring. Maybe you're going to get a new job. I don't know, but that is a good question. But not now. I mean, we first need to find out, what kind of relationship do you want? What does a relationship look like to you? And Chris and I were talking about it, and he's like, so how do we get there? What do we ask? What kind of questions do we ask? So that's what we want to talk about. Right, Chris?
How do we get there? How do you get the guts up to say to somebody you're just there? Like, what do you talk about? How does it, first it goes from the initial hello to maybe a little bit of an awkward stage to then conversation about whatever the conversation goes. And then it's like at our age, it's like, okay, where are we going? Where are we going with this? What are we doing?
Agree. And Chris and I, when we were talking about this, I brought it up and I said, for me, and I have very strong intentions and and I know exactly what I'm looking for in a relationship. Not everybody does that. So the first thing I always tell people, especially if they're new to this, if they're well, it really doesn't matter. Most people haven't taken a deep dive into their own awareness of what they actually want out of a relationship, what they want in another person, what they want to give, and what they bring to the table in a relationship. And so the first thing I tell people is that's what you need to do. First, you need to take some time. It took me a year of just thinking and being very, very self-aware, and what do I bring? Am I through with any traumas that I've had in my life? What do I want from someone else? What does that look like? What am I willing to bend on? What am I not willing to bend on? Those are all questions you need to get really clear on before you can even offer yourself to a person in a committed relationship. I think if you want it to be sustainable and to last.
And I think too, at our age game, we're not close, but we're not far. We're all set in our ways. We all are successful, hopefully. We've all got our own homes, our own money, our own cars, our own whatever we're doing in life, our own stuff. How do you, is it shouldn't be a competition. It should be a jointure. Like when do you decide I like this nothing matters but this person. I like this is where I want to go. Are you on the same page? How do you get to that point?
See, and so, okay, something else that Chris and I talked about is, and again, because I'm very clear on what I want, and maybe I'm a little picky, and I try not to be unyielding or inflexible. But having said that, when I start talking to someone, when I start talking to them and when I meet them, both times, because these are both the brand new stuff, I have to feel a certain. I don't want to feel awkwardness. Ask Mike, and we talked about this on the last podcast. He presented, when we talked about first impressions, he presented himself to me in a phone call that I did not like at all. It just didn't sit well with me. It didn't vibe at all with me. And I literally got off that call and said, I don't want to date this guy, period. But I didn't remember it was him. So he got lost in the mix, and I started talking to Mike again, and I didn't realize it was the same person, and he made a completely different impression. So, it worked out. But I don't want awkwardness. I feel like, and again, it might have to do with the fact that I'm older. I want this like now. I've been looking for a long time. I know what I want.
Of course.
But I want to feel a not awkwardness. I want to feel a comfortable, vibe. And hopefully that comfortable vibe is giving me vibes that it could be way more than that.
Well,
doesn't need to be that.
We talk a lot about intimacy and when and what and all that stuff. To me, that comfort level and that communication level, that bond of being able to say anything, do anything, is the ultimate beginning of what could be fantastic intimacy.
And that's what I was saying. That lack of awkwardness, that comfortableness, that where you can be silent and it's not awkward. I believe that. I believe that is your sign. Because you're wondering, how do you know? How do you tell? I think that should be your sign that you and whoever it is that you're with have the possibility to build some nice, really good intimacy.
Yes, I'm a little confused. Kathy, I don't know if that was a question. You said you have 7:14. Is my phone wrong? Well, it's 7:15. Your phone could be wrong. Maybe you're a minute delay. Are you in the mountains? I don't know. I'm not sure, Kathy, but I had to acknowledge that because I wasn't sure where you were going. But
did you read what Mike said?
Yeah, I was going to say it, but all right, Mike will say it. It's not quite after dark, but ask what their favorite position is. If they say point guard or fullback, they're a keeper. I mean, I don't know how you're taking that. I'm not going to get too involved in that whole statement, Mike, but you and Christine can discuss that privately.
Yeah, we might.
But no, I think that, the whole, I've said it a million times, the whole communication thing, there's got to be a comfort level. You got to feel relaxed around that person. You got to feel calm and cool around that person. No edginess, no awkwardness. You got to just be able to be like, hey, let's go for a walk. Or, hey, what do you think about this? Or, I want to invest in something. What are your thoughts on it? You can talk about anything and it's cool. And there's just, as that conversation and that comfort level raises, that to me, emotional intimacy will lead to fabulous physical intimacy.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. And there's something about being with a person who you feel like you'll never run out of things to talk about, which obviously you run out of things to talk about, but there are some people you're with that it just doesn't feel that way. It feels like whenever you have the silence, it's like this really nice, comfortable silence. It doesn't matter. It doesn't feel like silence. You're enjoying being with them still. But you always have things to talk about because that person actually enjoys being with you. And that's sort of key to everything. That person has to like you. And if they like you, really like you, they're going to listen to anything you talk about because they're interested in you. And even if it was like the most mundane thing in the world, they're just going to be like, yeah, I mean, they want to talk about it. So I'm here for it.
Well, that's like, I have to say, at the very least, and I believe that they're online, Rose is very inquisitive, very in tune to asking a lot of questions and having great conversation and talking about things, and I think that's fantastic. So that's so important. Which springs a conversation going, and then it makes your brain go to ask them questions, and it goes. And I think that's just it's so important.
Yeah, I'm that way. I'm very inquisitive. I can ask questions all night long. I mean, poor
All right, Lionel Richie.
Huh?
I said, all right, Lionel Richie, all night long.
Right. But I can. I mean, I'm just a very, and I could do it every night. I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. All right, Chris. See, he was going to go there again.
See, my look. I know your look. You know my look. I just went, when I go, she knows something. Keeping my mouth shut.
I could do that every night too.
Keep your mouth shut?
Huh?
Keep your mouth shut?
No. No. I cannot do that. That I cannot do. My husband asked me on our first date, what are you doing for the rest of your life? And honestly, I was like, why would he ask me that? We're together 25 plus years. And does not matter if it's the right one. Yeah, that I mean, that's adorable. I would not have thought, why is he asking me that? I would have thought, that is so sweet.
That's it. I would think the same thing there, Donna.
You would. Chris says stuff like that all the time. Chris will tell me stuff, and I'm sitting here like totally getting what the woman is saying, and he's like, "Why would she say that?" Like, Chris,
what are you talking about?
You're so like literal, so literal. Somebody says something, and you don't, and I'm sure you're not this way once you're comfortable. But in the beginning, when you're getting to know somebody, you are so like, "What does she mean? What does she mean?"
Well, of course you are, because you're thinking like, what does she mean by that? How should
I'm not that way. I'm not that way. Mike said stuff like that to me. I don't remember exactly what it was, and maybe he remembers, but he said some things like that. And he always says stuff like that to me. And I've known from the very start that it was just like a romantic, it was just like a romantic, cute little thing to say to convey the fact that I'm really liking you. I'm really enjoying being here. This is going great. And look, Donna's husband said it. And here they are 25 years later. He got what he wanted.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. I mean, that's the way it should be. He obviously meant it, and he stuck behind what he said, and there they are 25 years later. So,
well, and when somebody says that to you on a first date, they may mean it. They could be that kind of crazy. And that's okay if it works, But a lot of people say that kind of stuff, and they're just being cute. They're just saying, gosh, I like you. I really like talking to you, and I want to see you again.
I feel like there's also the digestive course in that. You go on a first date, okay? Awkward, not awkward. You get past the awkwardness. You have a great time. You do your thing. And then it's over. And then you most likely ways, I don't know. But anyway, And then it's the digestive phase. You got to like, it's almost like, what just happened? Now, am I thinking about that person? Am I not thinking about that person? Do I can't wait to talk to that person? Is it burning more and more inside of me as the day progresses, the night progresses to the next day? Do I can't wait to say hello to them again? Good morning, whatever. What it's the digestive process. It's like you may have felt awkward, but you built a little foundation. You laid some order, and now it's like, okay,
He said foundation.
What? It's no.
I agree with you. It was a joke. That never mind. I agree with you. Foundation. You're right. Yes, and it's the beginning of a foundation between you. And I think, and again, maybe I'm a romantic. No, not maybe. I am a hopeless romantic.
I am.
I want the person that I'm going to go on a second date with to pique my interest. I do want to be thinking about them a lot. I do want to be. I don't want to walk away going. Now, I will say that if I'm like on the fence, it depends on the interest part, how strong it is. If it's very strong, but there's just like a little bit of something that I'm not sure of, I will go on a second date. But if it's equal, or if the is heavier, stronger than the interest, I just don't even bother. I
would rather somebody like just be straight. Hey, listen, fantastic time, great energy. The restaurant was good, the food, whatever, blah 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 blah, and then be like, but my family as a thing would be like, but, and anybody who's listening, most likely my mother, will know what but means. So, and you go from there. But just be straight with the but.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Be just say it like it is. And I wish more people would do that, and they don't. And they waste your time. When my good friend met her husband, she told him, "I want to get married and have kids. If you don't, let's not waste each other's time." They're married 32 years with 2 amazing daughters. Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
There's nothing wrong with it. Just because you say something like that before you know whether you can fall in love with somebody doesn't mean you're nuts. It means you're putting your cards on the table. This is important to me, and this is what I want.
Right. You got to be straight. You got to just put your immediate needs, your immediate long-term thoughts on the table at some point soon.
Right.
That's the way I see it.
I'd say ask questions about the things that are most important to you, whether it's life goals, family, entertainment, food, or sex. Favorite color can wait. I agree. And that is exactly what I was just saying.
Favorite colors can wait. Well, the favorite colors are important because if you're going to get down to the nitty-gritty about sex, you want to know what color she's going to wear.
As he said, they can wait. It's more important to make sure that she has the same sex drive as you than to ask what color she likes.
Here we go again.
You can ask her about her favorite color, or if she likes flower petals on the bed later. Okay, when you're deciding that you want to seduce her.
I like purple irises, long walks along the beach,
amazing lattes, and great sex. Gross. Okay, the good sex was good. That was good.
And my favorite color is purple, damn it. So make sure your panties are purple.
No, it can wait. It can wait. Ask the important stuff. Color is not important. What you're doing in 5 years is tomorrow's question. It's not today's. Today, you got to first find out if you want the same thing. Trust me, what's going to happen in 5 years is important. And learning their little intricities, help.
Intricities.
Yeah. Learning
intricacies. Start like Pictionary. Intricacies.
Learning that stuff is important, but that's after you're establishing a relationship, But first, you got to find out if you want the same kind of relationship. What do you want? I mean, I find one question I like to ask to get this started is. And again, this goes back to some people don't like to talk about past relationships. That is a red flag to me. And the funny thing is, I have had men when I've said that's a red flag to me, that they want to date bad enough that they're not willing to say, well, that's a red flag to me, so adios. So they'll ask me, why? Explain to me. I mean, I've had guys come at me. It's like, that is the past. I don't like it. I don't want to talk about it. Why do you need to talk about it? And I explain to them the reason why I want to. I don't want to beat you over the head with your past. I want to talk to you. I want you to share with me. I want you to be vulnerable. I want you to tell me things because it helps me know who you are, where you've been, how you've grown.
But it's only one-sided. Doesn't matter.
Well, of course it is, but I don't want. Okay, let me tell you another thing. Another good reason why it's good to ask a person about their past relationships. If they start bashing their ex-significant, yes, that's a huge red flag. So yes, it's going to be one-sided, but they shouldn't be bashing them. It's not about hearing she did this, he did this. It's more about you saying
big red flag. Big red flag.
Yeah, it's about you accepting responsibility and saying it didn't work. I learned this. And so my question to these people usually is something along the lines of, what did you learn from your previous relationships? How many ever? I don't care. What did you learn that you really, really like, that you want to see in a new relationship? And what did you learn that you absolutely will never have again, that you won't take into a new relationship? Those are important things to talk about. You want that person to get what they want out of life and a relationship, and you want them to never be hurt by you and to have to, go through the same things that they went through in prep. So it's a good question.
And you know what I think? I think also, and I want to talk about Kathy's thing as well. I think that people's insecurities or people's ways come across sometimes the wrong way. You don't really know what a person really is. Like, you might paint a picture in your head about this person you're with, but they might be feeling something totally different, and you're not connecting because you're both nervous. So, which leads me to what Kathy said here. All right, she had, sorry, Kathy. We had 3 dates with a guy, and he asked for the 4th date, and she doesn't know she's up for it, and hasn't heard from them since. They had their walls up. That's what I'm saying. Was there miscommunication? Was there something that?
Well, there was no. To me, there was no communication after that fact. Which
was there a connection? Were you attracted to the guy, Kathy?
If there was a connection, she would have, they would have continued the conversation at some point. At some point one of them would have came back. And I usually don't like for being the woman, I'm not the one that goes back to him. If I told him I'm not sure about a 4th date, A, I wouldn't be surprised if he disappeared entirely. I never heard from him. But B, if I did, I would want him to reach out to me whenever he's ready and say, and you don't have to talk about it. You just start the conversation. Hello, how are Mike? And what she said about, you have to know you are really attracted to them before you get to that point, because you don't want to lead them on. So as she pointed out, this was 15 minutes ago. I am not sure what she's referring to as far as before you get to that point. Before you get to that point, I'm not sure what that was. So I don't know how to answer that, because I definitely have feelings.
Well, I
know I would have feelings on that.
What was 15 minutes ago? Your date, your relationship?
No. She meant that. I'm pretty sure she meant that was 15 minutes ago that she asked the question. Which, if it was, that's crazy, because it just came up.
We're trying.
Yeah. So Mike says you do need a firm foundation before making any big decisions together, like meeting family, vacationing, cohabitating, and etc. For some people, that may include sex. And I agree with that. Before you start adding those big, decisions, and we talked about this the other night, and everybody's going to think different. This is a great example of why you need to be with somebody that thinks the way you do. Chris disagrees as far as the family and the friends. The other night you said, I don't think that it's a big deal. People are basically making too big a deal out of it. And Mike and I were like, no.
What do you mean? What did I say?
We said that, when do you decide that it's okay to meet, like the kids or other family, and we said that there is a time frame, and it's different for everybody, but there will be a time frame that you'll follow. And you were like, yeah, I don't think it's such a big deal. People are making too big a deal out of it, and that's fine. But that's the point. We think differently. So you want to, that can be a very big deal for people. So if you go out on a date with somebody and you have family, and your thoughts are that you have a particular timeline that you follow, and the person you're on the date with thinks that's just stupid, and it's a bone of contention because maybe it makes them feel some sort of way, like, oh, you don't trust me, or I don't know.
Wait a minute.
I don't know.
I got to be honest with you. I'm following you and I'm paying full attention, but I don't quite understand what you're saying. So
You said you disagreed with us the other night when there were a lot of us on the podcast that said
right.
we follow a timeline for when it is appropriate to introduce a new person to family or friends, and you disagreed.
Yeah, because I don't think there has to be a timeline set
Right.
for that.
That's what I'm talking about.
If there's a whole MEPA thing going on, my mental, emotional, physical.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I mean, you think that way. I think this way, and that is something. Huh?
You think there's a timeline?
I do. I don't know what that timeline looks like exactly. Actually, I think Mike and I are figuring it out. So I think I can actually probably talk.
But why do you have to? I think that puts too much pressure.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Chris. We're not supposed to be discussing this. I was just using. We did on the last podcast. We know you and I we don't agree on this. And that's my point. That's my point. It's okay that we don't agree on it, but that's something we need to know right from the start, because that could definitely be something that could end up making you, not want to date that person.
I don't know why that should be an issue.
Well, look at what we're doing. For the person who has the timeline, for the person who has the rules, the person who doesn't could think, gosh, you're being really... why? And so you're going to constantly have this discussion about, why do you think that way? And she'll be like very defensive because it's her family. And you're not going to
like, hey, we're dating. We're having a good time together, whether it's 6 weeks, 6 days, 6 years, whatever timeline is. Hey, my family's having a party. I would love you to be my guest. Okay.
As long as you're okay with you saying that, and her going, minus her kids, her going with you and meeting your family, but she does not extend the same courtesy to you because she's not ready.
Well, okay, at that point, then you got to be honest. They just say, hey, listen.
No. Okay, no, tell me. You say what?
I'm saying, listen, I want you to come to this family party. I mean, my family. If he or she's not comfortable because they don't want to bring you around theirs or whatever, then it should be straight up. Or they should go.
I'm saying, no. I'm saying that you're the one with the differing opinion. You think it's okay. So you invite your significant other, your new date, you invite her, hey, my family's having a party. I'd love it if you come. And she goes. She's like, okay, yeah, sure. She doesn't bring her kids or anything because she's got these rules about them not meeting you yet. But she goes and she has a good time and she meets your family. You can't then, get upset. And I'm not saying you would, but some people would if she does not reciprocate. So she has a birthday party for her kid a week later and she doesn't invite you and you get all feeling different.
She has a birthday party for her kid. Now, I'm not bringing her to a party to meet the kids. She now is having a party for the kid.
Regardless of who it's for. Bad example, if you're going to... We shouldn't even be going on about this like this.
Because we just went way off beaten track.
Yeah, so, the only point I'm trying to make is you can have differing opinions. Obviously, look at us.
Yes, we can.
Differing opinions. And that's okay. But do you want that with the person you're having a relationship with? Maybe it might be okay. It might not be that big a deal. But what if it is? What if she's a real pain in the ass or he's a real pain in the butt about it? And what if they dig at you about it? What if it's just a thing with them and they're really, in your opinion, kind of crazy over the whole thing and it irks you after a while? It's just something that these are things you need to talk about. This is all about relationship building. and learning who somebody is. And there's just necessary things you need to ask in the beginning that are more important than, like, what color do you like, or, whatever, these things are. You need to ask the hard, the big stuff. What does a relation, and that's why that question that I said works. What didn't you like about a relationship, and what did you like?
Okay, so get ready.
Yeah.
Now, first off, I want to just welcome Daniel Morrow to the show. Daniel, thank you. What's that? Oh, so the question is, what does a relationship mean to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's the question at hand.
Or what does a relationship look like to you?
Look like to you, right? Yeah. Look like. What is it?
Yeah.
What is your design of a relationship?
Yeah. Yeah. And it needs to match. It needs to match yours, right? You want to be with somebody. Why not talk about this on the first date? Because why have a second date if you have fundamental differences in what a relationship looks like?
What's a fundamental difference?
It just depends. Well, that's what I was just going to say. It just depends on what it is. I mean, if somebody talks to you, okay, hopefully they're going to talk to you about everything. Hopefully this opens up a very honest conversation, because they get the gist of the fact that you're trying to say, if we were together in a committed long-term relationship, what is it that you want from a partner? So that includes intimacy. That includes the way you eat your food. That includes the way you interact with your friends and family. That includes all of those things, right? And you're going to talk about it. And if you find out, for example, that this person says that intimacy is not high on my list, it's okay, but I'm at a point in my life where that's just not a big deal to me. Okay, I'm going to be honest, it's just not. But this is important to me. Having somebody that I can hold hands with and go to a movie, that is important. I want a friend. I want someone, a companion to spend time with. Now, Chris, I think if you heard that, as lovely as she is, I don't know that you'd be, bitten at the chomp, or however the hell you say that, to break down her doors to have a relationship with her, because that's a fundamental difference. So, and there are other things, not just intimacy. Some people would really be thrown off if somebody was a vegan, a hardcore vegan.
All right, those are important life differences that, either you care about a person. Either you care about a person enough to suck it up and say, all right, you eat the way you want to eat, I'm going to eat the way I want to eat, and it is what it is, or whatever it is.
Some people, it's not a big enough deal. They would, as long as you're okay with me eating a steak and you're eating a salad, more power to you. I really don't care.
Some people are so steadfast on certain things that they drill you and hold it against you. Like, oh no,
That's right.
Okay. And that's no good. That's not real.
And it's not just like your tastes in food. It's politics and religion. And
politics, please. The biggest distraction in relationships.
Right. But like for me, I'm apolitical. I mean, I do fall in a certain place politically if I care to pay attention, but I am apolitical. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't think about politics too much unless something drastic happens. So that's not something, if somebody asks me on a date, are you political? I'm going to say no. I mean, it really doesn't matter. And the only time it bothers me is if somebody leads with politics. If they lead with it and they make such a big deal out of saying, if you're a Republican or if you're a Democrat, I don't want to talk to you. Well, gosh, I don't want to talk to somebody that feels that way either.
Here's something I think that should happen. You definitely need to be on the same page. Like you're saying, politics, religion, all these things. You need to be somewhere close, right? No?
I just think that it needs to be a non-issue, whatever it is.
But that's the other thing.
Either you guys are both hardcore, you're both mediocre, or you're both non-political. I think you kind of need to match.
Well, remember we had this situation podcast or 2 or 3 ago with something like that. I don't want to get into it, but I don't think it should be an issue. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe, and my mother's got a saying. I'm in this. Wait, how's it go? You are you, I am I. I am not in this world to live up to your expectations. You are not in this world to live up to mine. However, if by chance we meet, it's beautiful. You do you, I do me, and let's just try and do together, whatever.
Mom and I agree
But
100%.
that's not what I was getting at.
100%. I agree. But
I
not everybody feels that way. So don't you want to know that right away, that you're sitting
I
across
think
the table
so.
from somebody who doesn't feel that way?
But I think
And
that
that's what this is about.
I think a lot of this stuff needs to happen naturally. It needs to happen organically. It needs to just happen. If one person or the other is pressuring them, hey, you got to meet my family. You got to be. There's either a reason for that, or there's a void they're trying to fill, or there's something they want too much too fast. Just relax and let it flow. It's going to happen. Whatever's going to be is going to be. I want to
Come
hear.
on, Chris. Let's
Mike.
hear it.
Well, what do you want to hear?
Just what he said. He said, did you ask the hard questions or did you stick to what's your favorite color, Rose?
Well, we did talk about some of that stuff. All right, but I'm not going to get into that now. It's not.
Mike, he's not going to tell us.
Well, we will, but we didn't. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about a lot of more personal stuff. Things that are important to us in life. Family and friends and life situations and growing up and food and similarities and so we talked about a lot of that stuff, and it was really nice. It was great. It was fantastic.
Good.
So Mike, I know what you're saying with that, but some of the stuff, there was a goofing question of, hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I just looked around. I'm like, with you, baby, kidding around. But so because that's what we said, and it's nice that all these people watch the podcast and support us and understand. And then when we get more personal, pigeonholing it, it's nice. It's So yeah, Mike, we had a lot of good stuff. We had a lot of good conversation.
Yeah, and the whole point of tonight's topic is just saying that it is important, and this is why I had that debate with that man on TikTok. It is important to be able to hear each other, be able to talk to each other, be able to ask questions that are meaningful related to relationships. It's nice if the only thing you do is say, if you do nothing else, if you just ask the question about what does a relationship an intimate, romantic relationship look like to you?
How about this? You meet somebody, you're dating them, you're smatting, you're what's that word we used?
Twitter baiting.
Who?
Twitter baiting.
Twitter baiting. Twitter baiting. See, I'm telling you, I'm never going to say it right, ever. So anyway.
Kathy, what do you mean the point of asking what they want? Go ahead, Chris.
All right. So now you made me lose my thought. But what if the old saying says, if you don't want the answer, don't ask the question? What if they don't ask the question because they don't want the answer because they're so interested in something else of that person, whatever it is?
You're going to ask the question.
Not always.
You need to ask the question. Okay. That's the point. You need to ask the question. And if they don't want to talk about it, if that seems to be too, deep a question for them, don't you think that's a problem? Because it's not a deep question.
What's not a deep question? What's not a deep question?
Asking what a romantic relationship looks like to them.
Okay.
That's not a deep question. That is a question that says, you know what you're doing, you know what you want in life. You are an older person and you should know what a good, healthy, wonderful, exciting relationship looks like to you.
I agree. Lisette said that she believes there's a timeline in getting your kids involved and family and all that stuff.
Agreed.
And I guess that's part of the design of what a relationship looks like to you.
Correct. And that is my point. That is my point. Because if you don't agree on it, and to your point, Chris, when you said they could be the kind of person that would kind of harp on you about politics, religion, family.
Some people are very staunch. Some people are very.
Right. That's right. So if you open the conversation up and you see them getting all brittly and all all bristly and defensive over it and really pushy, and then you're just going to be like, wow, what, in your head, it's like, what is the big deal here? I mean, it's because you're not agreeing. It's because they are thinking that you're not going to agree, or you said something that sounds like they don't, and you don't want that. You can disagree on something, but you need to be able to figure out if it's a deal breaker or if it's something you can talk about, and like I'm this person that I do have things that are deal breakers, and I do have things that I don't bend on. But there are also things I might talk about it, and he could give me a different point of view. And if he's giving it to me in a calm, way, and he's just talking to me, I mean, unless it's something, fundamental, it's something in my morals, if it's my morals or my beliefs, I doubt he's going to sway me. But if it's just like an everyday kind of rule thing that I have, and he presents it the right way, I'm going to listen, and I might change my mind. I might be like, oh, well, no, that actually.
Part of a relationship is listening. You got to be able to listen. Yeah. And you shouldn't judge right away. You shouldn't, there's no need to thanks, Mike. It really was great. You shouldn't judge right away. And it's hard to do that when you're in a situation, especially when you're independent and you're older. We're like, oh, no. You really need to slow down, look at everything in context, pay attention to the person at hand, really listen to what they're saying, and then, really, really pay attention, really know if they say something. And I'll never forget this. An old timer told me this a long time ago in a sales job. If a customer's telling you something they're saying and you don't get it, or distributors tell, you just look at them and say, what did you mean by that? It's not offensive. It's not anything. What did you mean by that? Can you please explain to me?
Some people they'll say to me, and I actually love this, where I'll say something and they'll say, elaborate on that, because they're interested. Right. So it may be that they didn't get what I said, but what it comes off like is, I'm really interested. Elaborate. What do you mean? Give me a little more depth to that. And that's a great way to ask. So yes, I agree with you, and communication is a two-way street. It's listening, comprehending. Actually, I guess it's a three-way street, because listening, you can't just listen. You also have to comprehend. And if you don't comprehend, you have to be willing to ask, like you said,
You do. And it's, if you have to ask that same question 10 times, what did you mean by that? That person should at least know that you really want to understand and know what they're saying.
I've had that happen. And I think I probably told Mike about this when we first started talking. I'm like, because I've had guys get just totally downright irritated, irate with me because I ask until I'm clear. And I do it because it's a misunderstanding. And if I don't, I'm not clear, that means usually it's because I have I've interpreted this poorly, the way, and maybe they didn't mean it that way. And so I'm trying to clarify what they said. And guys tend to get upset because they're like, why are you being so aggressive?
Girls, same thing.
Why are you being so aggressive? Why are you being so argumentative? I'm like, no, I'm not. I just want to understand. I'm just trying to avoid a misunderstanding, because I honestly don't understand what you're talking about.
I mean, I've had people, I'll give a poor but good example,
I agree, Mike.
Why are you a vegan? I don't know. Well, these animals and blah, 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 blah. I didn't ask you to argue with me on it. I just asked, what turned you to vegan? Why are you a vegan? And then
it's a question. You're interested. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, there's a story there.
What are the benefits?
Well, and I mean, there's a story. Maybe they were raised that way, or maybe there was an experience that happened that changed them. You want to hear it. You're interested.
And when many people get defensive. So many people today are so quick and so pretentious to pass judgment without really understanding what the other person is saying. And I've learned that myself. I've done it. We've all done it. And you want to slow down, you want to listen, you want to pay attention, and and it's hard. It's not easy. especially when you got your own life and your head's going a mile a minute and things are, you gotta really learn. You gotta take the time. If you don't think that person is worth taking the time immediately, then don't give them the time. Just end
Well,
it.
exactly, and that's sort of what we've been saying from the beginning too. You need to enjoy being around the person. If you don't even like the person from the beginning and you're kind of irritable being around, why are you there? Why are you wasting their time? It's like just
Okay. Kathy, if you're not sure if you're attracted to them on a first date, something got you there in the first place.
I agree,
So
Mike. By the way, go ahead.
you need to determine what is bringing you there. If you're not
Okay,
attracted,
see, yes, that is what I wanted to know what she meant. Yes, Chris, because that's what I was going to say. My question would be, why were you there in the first place?
now you said you're not. Okay, Kathy? You said you weren't feeling it from the start.
Why
Okay,
did you go?
so why did you go and waste your
Right.
time and theirs? Listen, Kathy,
That
we love you, but I'm going to hammer you. Why wasting time?
Yeah, don't go. Don't go. Now if Kathy says, "Well, I went because honestly, I never have opportunity to go on dates, so I wasn't going to say no to one." Some people do that. I would still say, Kathy,
Go on a
Kathy,
date with yourself. Go meet some friends. Go talk to the local gin mill.
right. I say
Operator.
don't go. Don't go.
Don't
Never
do it.
settle. You're setting yourself up to settle for a relationship
Kathy,
you're not even interested in.
being on the dating sites and talking to people over the years, I've had really what appeared to be fantastic looking women, blah, 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 that may whatever. And then we chat for a minute or two or three. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going on a date with you. I don't care how good you look. I don't care if you tell me you want to, meet me at the hotel. It's just that's not what I want. I'm not going to waste your time or mine.
Right. It's like that guy I told you about, that friend of mine who met the Victoria's Secret model. And
right.
he didn't even get to know her. He's just like, yes, please, I'll take more. And he did. And they had sex for 2 weeks. That's how they got to know each other, which I'm not judging regarding
not
that.
To know each other.
Well, I'm not judging about that, because he still did get to know her. And what ended up happening was the man had sex with somebody for 2 weeks and got to know her and found out he didn't like her. She said nothing. Her head was empty. There was nothing up there, and he did not find her attractive at all.
I'll be honest with you. I can clarify that, and I can qualify that immediately. I don't care how hot you are. I don't care how much you turn me on. I'm not going to do that unless I'm really something else attracts me to you that I'm trying to create.
And I understand that. And I am the same way, because I'm a sapio kind of person. So I am the same way. It needs to be more than just a physical attraction. Sometimes I may be hard put to figure out what the physical attraction is, because the sapio, the mental attraction, is so strong. So
okay, well then, if the mental attraction is that strong, okay, well, that's a good start. Then that's a reason to meet this person.
That's
Physical
what I say.
May or may not happen. And some people want a mind-based relationship.
I have to have my relationships have to be not equal, but they have to have physical and mental.
MEPA, mental, emotional, physical attraction. I'm coining that word.
Yeah, and I always say, if it starts mental and you're not really seeing the physical, trust me, if the mental's good, the physical changes in your eyes.
Well, that's what
because
I'm saying.
Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder.
That's what I'm saying, that the communication, I said earlier, the communication, the camaraderie, the bonding is the best intimacy that leads to even more amazing intimacy when it gets to that point.
Kathy, Republicans and Democrats have different ideologies. 100% they do. Some people don't take their politics seriously. They can live and talk with anyone, and that's the person that you need to meet. That's the person you need to be compatible with. Either the person that doesn't care about it and identifies as something, or the person that doesn't identify with anything and is with somebody who does but doesn't care. You know what I mean? You have to be compatible for that very reason. They have different ideologies.
Now, Donna, welcome to the show again. You said 2 comments: to each his own, and vulnerability is attractive.
Yes, it is.
Yes, Vulnerability is attractive if it's smitten vulnerability, not stupid vulnerability.
Right. Well, there's like desperate
Yes,
vulnerability,
yes,
silly
yes.
vulnerability. Yeah.
And I think that could be a whole show on its own because there's, like you say, desperate, smitten, wanting, facetious vulnerability. The list goes on.
Yeah.
Every adjective you could put in front of vulnerability.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, a new divorcee or a person in a bad relationship or vulnerable, but
Yeah.
don't take kindness for weakness.
Right. So Mike says, it breaks my heart to hear some relationships fail because of politics. It means they can't handle compromise and trying to understand opposing views. Exactly.
I've seen it happen, Mike. I've seen it happen in many friendships, relationships, family ships, everything.
And those are the people, if you're not like that, then that's what you need to know right from the get-go. That's not someone you need to be with. That's someone you absolutely should not be with because they're going to break you because you're not that way. You know, you would never break a friendship or a relationship because of something like that, but not everybody is like you. And those are fundamentally important things to look for. And that's what you're looking for. And sometimes you could just, do a little light stalking of their social media to find out if you're compatible in that way, because usually the ones that are a little out there and the ones you're going to have problems with are probably putting it out there.
The conversation has to flow. 30, 40, 50 years, I don't know how, 45 years ago, we picked up the phone. Hey, how are you? I'm looking forward to seeing you. What are you doing tomorrow night? Blah, blah, blah. Talk. Forget the social media. Forget the Twitter. Forget the Facebook, the tickety-tock, all this stuff, the YouTube. Forget it all. Mike, he's going. He's leaving us. Mike, have a great night at work. Whatever it is you're going to do it in style. We'll see you next time for a while. I had to rhyme that. But no, just communicate. Talk real talk.
Real talk. Yeah. And, once again, we come back to the same thing, compatibility and communication. It's like the cornerstone of a relationship and what you need to look for in the beginning before you decide that you've fallen for this person. Don't fall for them until you have vetted these things.
Well, you can't say don't fall for them.
Yeah, I can. I can say it. Might not happen.
No, let the chips fall where they lie, where they may. Wherever the chips are going to fall, if you're falling, you're falling. But if it's not going to work, it's not going to work.
See, I don't agree. And that's what this is about. I do not agree. I say go straight into it, asking the questions and get a clear idea if this is someone that's not for you, because you're going to move on quicker and go on to the next person. The way that if you take it slow and you fall for them and then you let the whole thing fall apart because that's how you take it slow and you just find out that they're not for you, you're wasting so much time. I don't have that much time. I don't have that much time.
Listen. There's only one person that knows how much time you have.
I don't have that much time. I am not from Bible times. I am not living to be 198 years old. So that I know. Well, I mean, I don't think I am. But yeah, no, I think it's just how I do things though. I go straight in saying in my head, I know what I want. That won't work for me. And I have a nice date with them, and then I don't say I'll have a second date, and then I message them later and I say, lovely time. I don't think I'm interested, but I wish you well. And I move on. What was it that she didn't agree with?
I'm texting. I think there was a miscommunication.
Discuss politics with no one. The end. Tickety talk. Donna. But see, Kathy can disagree with that. You guys don't agree on that. That's okay. That's the point.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
You talk about it, you find out. Kathy is okay with talking about politics. Donna is
Let's
not.
give them something to talk about.
Yeah. It's totally okay. You just want to make sure you are with somebody who agrees with you, because that would be one of those fundamental problems that is going to cause to be it's going to be a pain in your ass long
Right,
term.
right, right.
Yeah.
You gotta listen. Bottom line again, it's almost like the same ending. Communication leads to good communication. Mental intimacy leads to great intimacy, leads to good decisions, leads to long-term stability. If you just know the answers, know.
And I love that Kathy and Donna don't agree on this, so that we
I
can
do
in
too.
real time point out that that is exactly the way relationships work right there. That's how you decide whether you want to spend time with somebody or not. You know, you can disagree with these things and still be like, but I still want to go have a drink with you. I still like you. I still want to
Right,
be
but
around you.
that's it exactly. Don't let little things, disseminate a relationship that could be good.
Well,
So
yeah, and I was going to say something about what you said. Definitely don't judge somebody and not be flexible, unless it's like a really really hard line red flag. Obviously there are some things you're just going to have to cut your losses and walk away. But if it's something, personality, or they said something, and you're just iffy, and you really like this person, and you're like, dang it,
yes,
then
dear.
go keep talking to them. Maybe they
Yes,
had a
dear.
bad night. Maybe they
Yes,
just
dear.
spoke wrong. you know
Yes, dear. Yes,
Stop.
dear.
Yes,
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 dear.
dear. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, dear. It is 8:02, and
All
that's
right,
all we got for you.
we are done, guys. I
Goes
appreciate all of
fast.
you.
Goes really fast. And
Yeah.
we hope we had some fun with you tonight. We hope you got a lot of questions answered. We hope you're thinking about what's next for next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 6:45 is pregame. And if you notice, I I didn't really drink my margarita while we were talking. I was focused on the show,
Good for you.
and we will work on that after dark. I think that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
you know what, Christine, it's going to be a lot of fun. We got lots of great stuff ahead.
Yes, I'm excited, and I hope you guys all come along with us. This was fun. Thank you so much for all the conversation. You guys are awesome.
Kathy and Donna, make nice. Go on Facebook, talk to each other, have some fun. Don't forget, order your coffee today at beachbuddhacoffee.com. Christine's is on the way. And, Rising Tides Espresso will get you there, or a little Sunrise Bay, or a little sunset. Enjoy the
I'll
show.
let you guys know how it is.
Woo. We'll see you in your streams. And don't forget, you can email us at realtalkwithchristine@gmail.com and realtalkwithchrisanthony@gmail.com. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you're thinking. Carry on the podcast. Ask us questions. We want to hear from you. Emails are a little light because they're new. Get on there. We love you. And
All right, guys. See
so,
you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
wait a minute. We got to just do one thing. Got to put a
All
little bit. We got to do a formalize this,
Oh, Chris has to put music up.
Gotta have the music. All right. We'll see you in your stream. See you next
Bye,
Tuesday.
guys.
Good night, everybody.